Live and direct, wrecked. Couldn't it be better, you know what I'm saying? What y'all think about that? Cladow! Welcome to Smoke Shop. So near as I can tell, the first step to removing these shelves, which I have made an executive decision and decided to do, is removing these hinge bolts. Now, what's going to be interesting is trying to actually remove this without any help. For those of you new to the channel, I made this hammer in junior high school from raw materials. And I use it. It is not a shelf sitter. Woo! That was loud. But it came out. Oh, I get it back in. Not if you do that. Anyway, it's still sitting there. Okay. I think this might actually work, kids. So I'm going to pull out the last pin. Oh, it's so loud. Okay. And in theory, yeah, like, wow. Man, I'm smart. I am one smart feller. I figured it out all on my own. Oh, man. Okay, cool. Cool. It's another one of those block rockin' beats. All right, let's get rid of that thing. These are not light. They're not heavy, really, considering they're aluminum, clearly, which is good scrap metal. If there's a market for them, I will sell them, certainly. Look, more crap from my garage. Yay! Yo, I'm a sprinter dude making sprinter moves. Yo, I'm a sprinter dude making sprinter moves. Yo, I'm a sprinter dude making sprinter moves. What? Sprinter dude. Making sprinter moves. Come on. Get cheese and rice. I'm a sprinter dude. Pretty awesome stuff. Speaking of pretty awesome stuff, look at this. I can go and stretch out inside of my van. This is my van. What's this wire for? It's very long. Where does it go, I wondered. Holy cow. Look at all that. I hope y'all are recording, because I just found the snake. Yep, there we go. Aha! Let me have this. Okay, the snake is the camera. Or at least one of the snakes is the camera. There's more snake. Oh my gosh, there's so much more snake. Holy shitballs! Wow! I would say that this is probably made to go on a school bus. Woo! That's a whole lot of wiring. So I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure that this is the wiring harness for the cameras. So in theory, if I power this red cable, that should get the rear view camera working again. First thing we're gonna do, maybe not the first thing, but one thing we're gonna do today, I got already 3 or 4 things started. So we want to get up here and find the hole in the roof and see what we can do to alleviate that situation. I call this ladder trusty. It was my dad's and I believe his dad's before him. I am aware of its motions and I try to be careful and hopefully won't fall off. So this, it looks like, was the footprint of an original factory camera. I guess maybe there was 2 different positions, because that's a factory hole plug, which is fine. It's sealed. There's another one. While we're discussing factory hole plugs, in theory, there's a row on either side of factory hole plugs set up for a roof rack. So with that unistrut down there and those holes, we should be able to make a roof rack for nothing. I should have hardware around here and everything. Might have to buy some hardware. Anyhow, I believe that for right now, we're gonna at the least shove this back into the hole, if not all the way through, because I don't know why it's pulled out and hanging like that. This is the Amazon camera that they installed, and it's just up here bouncing around destroying shit. So even though it's not powered right now because of the things that we disconnected, we should be able to return power to this camera simply by applying keyed power to a red wire that I found downstairs. So this camera is going to more than likely be, I think I'm going to move it up here because I don't know why it's here, and there's plenty of wire down in there as we showed earlier. I mean, I can pull out 20 feet of wire, literally. But anyway, we're going to take this thing off and assess that situation because that's just damaging the van. We'll update you after a while. Hey guys! I didn't forget about you. I was just putting out other fires. So one thing that I realized was I knew that I had a whole bunch of wire underneath this camera. With a little bit of searching, I found a connector right here. So what my intention is I'm going to relocate the aftermarket camera to the center where the factory camera was. The biggest issue I'm going to have is figuring out how I'm going to mount the other camera up here without making any more holes, preferably. The first thing we're going to do is disconnect this plug. We're going to disconnect this plug. There we go. So now we're going to pull the camera, the gasket, the grommet through the hole. There we go. Pull the wire and almost drop the camera, destroying it. Thank goodness that was an almost. Hopefully this fits through the hole, otherwise it's, there we go, kind of ludicrous. So there's our camera, which we will clean the lens on and generally clean up. So now we have a gaping hole going out the back of the van. For my next trick, the amazing Schmoke of Schmoke Shop will realize that he needs to pull this lamp back out. Okay, so now I'm going to let that hang out of the way. So right, since none of this is being utilized, this is good stuff, guys. What this tells me is that I could actually hook up the factory camera back if I wanted to spend the money on one. They are, however, quite expensive. Alright, there's that one. One of these is going to pull out of here somehow. Alright, thank you. Thank you. Hey Sophia, this one's for you. I didn't have a tape measure handy, but I happen to have found a fork. And center to center, we are exactly 1 fork length. 1 fork length is now another unit of measurement. So, we've got this nice piece of metal strap. We cut it there, approximately. And if we cut it there approximately, then it will be approximately balanced if we put a screw hole there and there. Right? Okay, and then we'll figure the rest out as far as camera placement. That's what I'm after. And if I need to stabilize it, I can put something in there. But that gets me as close to center as I can get without getting too crazy. Now then, if I'm real lucky, I can make this hole a little bit bigger and pound that squared off part into the hole and lock it in place without even having to try and hold it. In theory, give that a good cup of wax, and we're golden. Plow! What y'all think about that? Many of you think that I was crazy to do that in the first place. Even more of you are going to think I'm nuts to try it again. But I just happen to have found exactly the right size to tighten down and keep the camera from swiveling. Pretty badass. Well, once again, I thought I was recording and I wasn't. But anyway, there's our mount. I'm still gonna have to put some silicone on there for sure. Then we should be ready to mount him back in place. I want to confirm that the wires that I'm looking at are the right ones, which I think I had seen that information before online. At which point, I can power this thing up and set it. Make sure it's set in the right place. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyhow, there we go. We'll leave a little bit of slack there. And like I said, we're going to take some silicone at some point and silicone the heck out of that. But that should be a lot better than what it was, which was a gaping hole. Oh, that's garbage. Kind of like that. Gaping hole. I have a solution to that already. And that is, at least partially, this. Guess what this is? My stereo. Sweet. So the main reason I ordered this one is because it came with the dash panel. So we can get rid of that cell phone thing that's screwed to the dash panel. That makes me happy. That's kind of sweet, except for the fingerprints on it, but everything always comes with fingerprints on it now. Oh, that's gonna be cool, dude. Look at how big that is. That's what she said. It does not come with clips. That was one thing that I read. So you have to reuse the clips from the factory one. So we need to be careful when we pop out the factory radio. Oh, that's going to be so nice looking. So, that's what we're going to do. As it is almost 4:20, I'm going to read this manual, and then we'll get back to this. Alright, gang. The kit actually comes with the trim removal tool, and since it's right there, instead of going and finding mine, which is, who knows where, we'll go ahead and use the one that comes with the kit. There we go. There we go, gang. Ugh. I think we're going to actually put on some gloves. Be right back. We're back. Yeah, that's nasty. It's nasty. Thank you. That's all. We do need these controls, so I need to switch this over to the new bezel. I can't really see because I don't have my glasses on, and as we all know, I can't see a thing without my glasses. So here's our switch panel thing that we're gonna switch over. Oh, jeez, that was good. Anyhow, you know, we could probably clean this real quick. So I'm going to clean that up real quick. We'll be right back. You know, it cleaned up a little bit, but not a lot. I was trying to get that, but I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's glue or paint or what. Anyhow, that still looks better to me just because of the digital screen or the whatever screen. The screen, man, the screen. So, the clips that hold the, what are we going to call it? The fascia, the bezel, the dash plate. These clips need to be reused. The best way that I'm finding to remove them is if you can get a 90-degree pick underneath either end and not stick it in your finger, then you can work it through there. What? Work it, work it. Squeak, work it. And it's a battle. Every single one of them so far. So I don't know if there's a secret manufacturer's technician trick that I don't know. Look there, you see it? It just came loose. But yeah, that's it. After removing the 4T25 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. The radio should come right out. At which point, we're going to unplug. I don't have my glasses. I can't see a thing without my glasses. We got the glasses. So, we're going to unplug. This is our power and everything harness, I believe. And I believe there's a lever here that's gonna disengage. There's a lever that's supposed to kind of disengage. It's just like this lever right here. It's just gonna disengage. Yeah, like that. And then that comes unplugged. So there's that. I need those lights. Thank you. And then we're gonna unplug these connectors. There's that one. Yeah, it's loose. It's just not coming out yet. There we go. Come on. There's that one. Ah, that hurt. And come on, buddy. Let's go. There's that one. So, this is your factory head unit, which is garbage as far as I'm concerned. Alpine, really? That is hilarious. I believe what we're going to do is get our harness. Okay, so this is our antenna adapter, obviously. Alright, so our CAN bus adapter, decoder, whatever, goes there. So it's this connector. Oh, jeez. Right. It's a lot of shit going on here. Did I turn this off yet? I apologize. I forgot to film all the connections, but it's pretty straightforward. You just connect the things that match up. And maybe when I turn this on, it might work. I think that's normal beeps. Yep, okay. I may need to take this off in order to press the power button, maybe. Oh, nope, something just lit up, I think. Maybe not. Okay. Well, that's a bad start. Unfortunately. Far out. Okay. That's not what we wanted to happen. So that's cool. That's cool. Real cool. Cool. Basically, depending on which harness you use, you need to hook up this green and white wire to CAN 1. Once I hook that up, the unit has now powered up. So what I would like to do is put it the rest of the way together. Anyway, first of all, that's why we're replacing the speakers, because they are shot. So, I don't know where I left any of this. I know I was pretty frustrated, so we're back. Now with less frustration. The speaker wire connector is definitely not going to connect to the new speakers. However, the new speakers come with cables that are going speaker wire with ends that are going to fit their speakers. So what we need to do is adapt these wires to this plug. The relatively quick and easy way that I found to do that from the passenger side, which again I have already done and did not film, so that I could film this side and actually accomplish things rather than try and figure it out as I go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, wish I had my glasses, from my terminal plug kit, whatever this is called. It's called a plug terminal kit. Yep. It has lots of little plugs and terminals, and so you can make a plug utilizing these pins and these plugs. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but by using two of these on the ends of this end of the wire, these will fit into the plug on that other connector. Y'all know what I'm saying. Let's go do that. Hopefully you can see what I'm trying to show you. These fit in there beautifully. And I basically put the wire up, the exposed wire up to the furthest stage in. And then I fold the little tabs over. And then I fold the little tabs over. Once you get one on there, again, I don't know if you can see that. I can't. I can see it well enough to see that it folded. So now that wire is held in there. Now we're going to do the second one over the insulated part. And I know from experience from the passenger side that I need to kind of round this off. And the reason that I need to do that is so that the heat shrink will fit over it. So then we're going to work our heat shrink up to the top. And we're going to take the lighter that we grabbed, and we're going to, you don't want to get it super hot. But see how it shrunk on there? Isn't that kind of neat? And that's how you insulate your connection. And then that slides right into there, like so. I'm going to do the other one, and then we'll move on from there. Now then, what I've done here is I looked up which one of these wires is positive and which one of those is negative, because that is important with speakers. And as I know that the red striped is the positive on the aftermarket speakers, driver's side positive is going to be brown with a purple stripe. So we found brown with a purple stripe. I doubt you can see that purple. I can barely see it, and I'm here. And we connected our positive lead to that, obviously leading the negative lead to be the other one. So now what we have is our adapter cable. Now then, unfortunately, only two of the holes are going to line up with the factory locations, and I'm not going to drill any extra holes in these, just because I don't feel any need to. If we start getting a bunch of rattles or anything like that, then we'll worry about doing that. So we're going to connect our spade connector and pull up the supplied cover. Same thing on the negative side. Oh, I'm going to separate that a little bit more. All right, we got a good connection there. We're going to start one of the screws. Just so we can hang it in place. Like I said, the opposite corner is going to fit. And that's it. So, with all that being said, I believe at this point we can test our sound system. Oh, that sounds so much better. Oh my God. With the doors wide open. always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.